Hi, my name is Fernanda Rangel and today I'm going to talk about brightness vision. Brightness vision is our ability to perceive and distinguish different levels of light intensity, enabling us to see objects as brighter or dimmer based on the light they reflect or emit. The input signal for brightness vision is light, primarily photons in the visible spectrum. Light is electromagnetic radiation and the energy of photons is what interacts with the eye's receptors. It enters through the pupil and is focused by the lens onto the retina. The factors that could change it are intensity, wavelength, environmental factors, and health conditions. The sensor for brightness vision is the photoreceptor cells in the retina. We have two types, rods and cones. The rods are more active in low light, while the cones are more active in bright light. They are responsible for color vision. Here we can see the structure and how the photoreceptors are located on the outer layer of the retina. They are connected to the bipolar cells and the ganglion cells, forming a layered structure. Now let's talk about factors in transduction. Rods use a protein called rhodopsin and cones use one called photopsins. These proteins change when light hits them and generate a chemical reaction. Then, receptors called transducins are activated, which leads to changes in the cGMP levels, opening or closing ion channels. So what will happen if these factors are absent? Well, the lack of either of them could lead to night blindness or color blindness. And if it's the opposite, if they are overexpressed, it might lead to photoreceptor generation or extreme light sensitivity. The main pathway involves the optic nerve, which is formed from the axons of ganglion cells in the retina. So it actually starts there, in the ganglion cells. Then, the optic nerve fibers leave the retina and pass through the optic chiasm, where actually some fibers cross. Then they travel to the lateral geniculate nucleus, known as well as the LGN, that's located in the thalamus. Finally, from there, they project to the visual cortex in the occipital lobe. Here, we can find four synapses. The first one between the photoreceptors and bipolar cells in the retina, the second one between the bipolar cells and ganglion cells, the third one in the LGN in the thalamus, and the fourth one in the visual cortex. Other connections that affect the pathway are superior colliculus, that is involved in reflexive eye movements, the protectile nuclei for the pupillary light reflex, and the hypothalamus that regulates circadian rhythms via light input. And how connections improve or dampen communication? Well, feedback from the visual cortex to the LGN can modulate visual processing, while connections to the brainstem help control eye movements and attention, improving brightness perception. And finally, how does this affect us? Well, actually, brightness vision affects us in several ways. It has a really big impact on our safety and navigation, daily activities, biological rhythms, emotional and psychological impact, as well as our social interactions. So overall, our ability to perceive brightness vision directly impacts on our daily functioning. And so that's a wrap. We covered the importance, how it works, the pathways, and the structure behind brightness vision. Thank you for your attention.